Hey there folks, welcome to DocTalk. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to have a fun show. We're going to talk about some cattle handling things. We're going to talk about how we move cattle through processing facilities. We'll talk about the bud box. We'll talk about tubs. Talk about a lot of different things associated with moving those cattle from the alley to the chute. Stay tuned after these messages.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about moving cattle. I work here at Kansas State University at the College of Veterinary Medicine, and I work with the Kansas State Research and Extension Group to do things, all things cattle. We really have a lot of good stuff going on here at Kansas State. Just had some enjoyable experiences at Iowa State and University of Illinois as well on the road, and some producer meetings. So always good to see everybody out there and things that are moving forward. We're going to talk about moving cattle, and specifically as we start to do some stuff with branding, or in the fall with weaning. You know, one of the issues on your farm or ranch is moving those cattle from the sorting pen or from the alley to the chute. And we specialize in some of that. But the first thing you have to do is you have to kind of read your cattle. And that specifically is, where's the flight zone? And the flight zone is when you start to move towards the cattle. When do they start to notice where you're at? And different cattle, different comfort levels with human beings. If you buy some new cattle that have never seen someone walking on foot, they might respond differently because they've only seen people that are horseback, and vice versa. If you buy cattle that from someone that's always been on foot and you're always horseback, the cattle have to make adjustments. So understanding the flight zone, understanding the comfort. Also, the docility of the cattle is something that will increase or decrease the flight zone. The more docile the cattle are, the closer you will be able to get to them before they notice that you're there, and you can apply pressure to the cattle and make them move. There are different types of cattle. If you're buying, if we're branding and we have baby calves, we not only have to get up against them, but we actually have to push them sometimes through the snake to put them in the chute or in the calf cradle so that we can process them. If you have cattle that are extremely flighty, you can actually move them before you even start to cross the fence. And applying pressure and understanding that to give those cattle and to provide safety to you and your crew or your family or your workers, I think is extremely important. Some of the ranch calves, Mexican cattle that come across that have been handled a lot will have lower docility. Some of the calves from some of the big ranches that maybe we haven't had the experience or been around human beings or been in confined operations, I think then you have to give those cattle some more space, be very careful to work with them, help train them and help exercise them, because as the processing crew or as the weaning crew or as that branding crew, you're really that welcome wagon that's providing the first interaction in the new facility or in the new herd as the babies or as the weanlings or as the receiving calves. You're that welcome wagon to how they're going to be treated from now on, and start to imprint those cattle so that they understand how they're going to be handled. When we look at or grade cattle to their processing, we're going to talk about some things, whether it's how often you use the hot shot, some of the beef quality assurance strategies, hot shot usage, slipping, exit speed from the chute, and how you handle those cattle when they get in the chute when we return after these messages. Thanks for watching DocTalk. We appreciate you tuning in, but more after this.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
Through the generosity of Dr. Eva Gardner and Dr. Dan Thompson, Kansans now have the opportunity to support the wildfire relief effort by purchasing a signed and numbered print of the original painting, A Walk Through Henry's Dreams, by Dr. Gardner. This gallery quality print is only $200. Order your print today online or call 785-273-5115. Please help support the Kansas Livestock Foundation Wildfire Relief Fund.
Support Kansas agriculture education with an AgriTag. AgriTags are available anytime at your county treasurer. They look great on cars and trucks. For more information, go online to ksagclassroom.org.
DocTalk, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey there, and welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here at Kansas State University's College of Veterinary Medicine, and we're talking about movement of cattle. And the Beef Quality Assurance Program has a cattle handling grading system, and they look at different types of measurements of when you work cattle, and it's something you can do on your own. You can go to bqa.org, and at that website you can find their cattle handling assessment tool, which will allow you to grade how cattle are moved through your facilities. A lot of times when we're talking about things that we have to apply hot shots, or we look at cattle exiting the chute at rapid rates, it may be that we have a flaw in the facility or a flaw in the way that we handle the cattle. And using these tools is really important. The first one is hot shot usage. And the upper limit is 10%. No more than 10% of the cattle should be touched with a hot shot when you're processing, whether it's cows, calves, whatever, on your facility. Number two is no more than 2% of the cattle should fall or trip exiting the chute. So when we look at cattle falling, are these cattle trying to scramble to get away? Are we asking the cattle to make a quick right turn or left turn? Do we have proper footing out in front of the chute? Those types of things are things that we have to be focused on to prevent the animals from falling or tripping. Most of the time when I see cattle fall exiting the chute is we have them come out of the chute and then make a quick right or left-hand turn. We get a little bit of sheen from the manure and urine tract out there after working a few cattle, and then the cattle slip, their feet come out from underneath them, land on their side, stand back up, and then they head down the alley that we've asked them to go down. So giving them a place to exit, making sure that we have proper traction and footing out in front of the chute is really important. No more than 4% of the cattle should vocalize in the chute prior to a procedure. So if they vocalize during castration or dehorning or putting an ear tag or an injection, that's normal and understandable. It's no different than a child responding from having their ears pierced. But when we start to think about when we catch them, if they vocalize right when we catch them and apply the squeeze, that a lot of times is a miscatch. And if we'll just open the sides and let the calf stand up and then apply the pressure, they won't vocalize. But understanding that is important. There's zero tolerance for a miscatch and then the animal not being readjusted. So if we catch it by its temples, we need to open it up, let the head come through, and catch that animal by the neck. And the last one is no more than 25% of the cattle should run exiting the chute. Now this is not a lope down the hill or a lope away from the chute. This is a tails up, somebody did something bad to me back there, I'm out of here type of a run out of your facility. And so no more than 25% of the cattle should exit the chute in that manner. And actually we can actually look at the speed of cattle exiting. The faster they exit, sometimes we'll have be very correlated with decrease in performance. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about bud boxes and tub systems and some of the pitfalls that can happen if you don't put those in correctly or if you try to put too many cattle through them. You're watching DocTalk. We appreciate you watching us. More after these messages.
This Meet the Future Veterinarian is brought to you by Zuprevo. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Lacey Robinson is a fourth-generation producer who grew up on an Angus cattle operation. Her interest in food animal medicine runs deep. Working on the ranch from a young age helped develop her love for all aspects of beef production and animal husbandry. She and her fiancé have a small Angus herd in the Flint Hills north of Manhattan and market bulls to commercial cattlemen.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
If you missed the opportunity to apply crabgrass preventer to your lawn last month, there's still time. Apply Fertilum's new product, Professional Turf Weed Out Plus Crabgrass Preventer. This product kills new crabgrass, it also prevents new crabgrass and other weeds, kills dandelions and fertilizes your lawn all in one application.
Visit Jackson's. We'll show you how to grow the best lawn in your neighborhood.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
DocTalk, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here, and we're talking about cattle handling, and I can't take credit for, I have learned so much from so many people over the years. I spend a lot of time working on cattle handling with producers and ranchers, and whether it's Dr. Tom Knopfsinger, Dr. Temple Grandin, Kurt Pate, Ron Gill, Bud Williams, so many different people throughout my career that I've been very fortunate to learn from and understand, but I probably learn as much also from you. When I'm working on your ranch or your farm and I see the creativity and the ingenuity of our ranchers and farmers and feedlot operators, it's really heartwarming as we continue to improve cattle handling. The first thing in the lead-up alley I look at is traction. If you want to increase the flight zone or increase anxiety in cattle, if we don't have proper traction to where the animal can be mobile, the animal will understand that, and it increases anxiety and will increase the flight zone and actually make the cattle harder to work. Once we have traction, we're going to look at moving those cattle into either a tub from an alley or into the bud box. The first thing about cattle handling is understanding that cattle like to move from areas of dark to light rather than light to dark, and it makes some sense. They're not afraid of shade, but we have a lot of issues with transitioning from outside to inside in a processing barn. So understanding how to work with shade, how to improve lighting, how to improve cattle moving into these facilities is very important. The other thing that when we move to a tub, let's start out with a tub system here, and Temple Grandin was very instrumental in starting the tub system. The one thing that we have to understand about tub, or the two biggest pitfalls I see with the tub, is one, the entrance to the tub has to be the same width as the alley that's coming up to that tub. So if you have a 12-foot alley, you need to have a 12-foot tub. If you have a 10-foot alley, you need to have a 10-foot tub. If we have a narrower entrance to the tub, then we tend to have cattle that will wedge or cattle that will ball up and return to us in that alley or in that system. The other one is the angle in which, and here's a picture of a tub system here, but we have to understand that the angle in which these cattle are going to move within this system, if these cattle come down, and as you can see, this is properly drawn, and they almost return in a 180-degree fashion to where they're going back, this is a properly adjusted, and it's for safety. The only thing you should see is tails going around the corner of that tub system as you're grabbing the gate and shutting it. When I see issues is when we have the alley come straight and you go straight from just a curved bubble area of the tub right into the snake area. And what we have issues there is that cattle don't go around the system, they don't use their normal behavior movement, and they see that they're going to be crowded into that snake, and they're going to come back on you. And if that angle, that alley coming into that tub is not such that it's almost 180 degrees where those cattle are going around the center portion of that tub and going into the snake, you'll have cattle continuing to come back on you. And it's very important to have it designed properly for human and worker safety. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the bud box, and we'll talk about getting those cattle into the snake. You're watching Doc Talk. Thanks for watching. More after these messages.
When looking at the number of farm and ranch operations, the USDA Census of Agriculture says cattle and beef production is the largest single segment of American agriculture. The census also says the average age of the American cattle farmer or rancher is in the late 50s. In order to support the continuous supply of U.S. beef, these producers need to do some business planning to successfully transfer their cattle operations to younger, independent producers.
I'm Andy Biergo. I'm owner of Biergo Angus Farms with two of my sons, Bryson and Drew. We've been in business since 1950, and a family farm's been around for 145 years. And we've, like everybody, we've been through some good times and bad times, and doing well and having things that protect you and go forward. The beef checkoff could be one of the things that makes us global. We go to protect ourselves and protect our trading ability, and one way or another, we're going to have people that will protect us and do that. I've always had this theory that you're either doing things to advance and do better. I've never been a believer in this, it'll be normal or average. I'm a firm believer that we'll be going one way or the other. And without protection and advertisement and teaching people to believe in what we produce, it's more about producing the consumer. That's our client than maybe it is proving it to ourselves.
For me, one of the most important aspects that the beef checkoff provides is sustainability for future generations. My brother and I both have daughters, that we can see a future in the life that our grandfather has lived, that our father has lived, and now that we are getting to be a part of, and also the opportunities out there for our daughters now.
It was my dream when I was a little boy to own the home 80 acres, and I've always told my sons that you either need a job well enough, you can have hobbies or do what you want, or you need to have a passion for your job and what you do. And I've had a passion for cattle my whole life, and my sons have a true passion for it, and I'm very proud of how they handle the farms.
The beef checkoffs has given us a lot of different opportunities for our daughters to have a chance to come back and be a part of this in the future.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
I dug trees by hand for years and years and years. In the process, I wore out my rotator cuff. But when I learned about this process, I thought if there's a way to get rid of this pain, then I want to do it. So we did it, and it worked. And I'm not going to go out and dig trees with a shovel anymore, but I can do the things that I want to do now.
Broadband has become as important to us as highways. That is why DocTalk is teaming up with NTCA, the Rural Broadband Association, and rural broadband companies like Blue Valley Telecommunications in fighting for quality broadband access through the program Smart Rural Communities.
I don't think we have any idea what's coming in the future. I couldn't have imagined 5 years ago what we're doing today. So in 2 years, I would guess there's things we can't imagine that we're going to be doing.
To learn more, visit ntca.org/smart or bluevalley.net.
Hey there folks, I'm Dr. Dan from DocTalk. On behalf of myself and the staff at Drovers, I'd like to invite you to our Cow-Calf Cowboy College in West Des Moines, Iowa on June 20th and 21st. We're going to have speakers such as Mike Apley, Tom Knopfsinger, Chris Reinhardt, and Mr. Dave Nichols from Nichols Angus Farm. For registration, please visit droverscowboycollege.com or call us at 1-877-482-7203. I hope to see you all there.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk, talking about cattle handling. When we left, we're talking about the tub. The one rule about the tub system is the tub should never be more than half full, and it should never be less than half full. We want it to be half full. We want the cattle to be able to move. One of the problems I see with tubs is people put too many cattle in the tub at once. As you see in this picture, a tub is not a tube of toothpaste. You don't fill it up and then squeeze the cattle into the snake. Now let's move to the bud box. And I wish we'd have known about a bud box years ago, whether it's outside cattle, feedlot cattle, or shipping fats. The bud box is ingenious in its design, and it's named after Bud Williams. But basically, it is 2 panels long and a panel wide. And as you can see from this system, the cattle are going to be brought up the alley. They're going to be moved into this box system, which again is 2 panels long. If you have 6 panels, you can build a bud box. Here's 2 panels long, 1 panel on the end, and you can see the snake entrance is right here. We will run the cattle into the bud box. Rule number 1, you cannot bring more cattle to the bud box than fit in the snake at once. So if your snake holds 3 cattle, you can only bring 3 at a time. If your snake holds 10 cattle, you can bring 10 at a time. But that's rule number 1. You bring those cattle, they come to this point, we're going to catch the gate right here, and then you're going to position yourself or your horse. At this position, you're going to walk forward, and as you walk forward, you can see from this video, as these gentlemen come up, they shut the gate. They're going to then move forward, and then as they move forward within the system, the cattle just go around and go straight into that Daniel's Alley. And really working with a bud box is very important. It's been something that has decreased injuries and improved cattle handling out on the ranch. It's also improved the cattle handling within feed yards and within packing operations. Now, one thing about it is a good tub system and a good bud box system work very well. Don't go rip out one facility and pay a lot of money for another. But if you're going to build a new facility, you need to understand the differences between these, and when you start to look at these different systems, understand which one works the best for you. I think that they're both safe, they're both outstanding, and if you're going to just use panels, you can build a bud box out in the pasture with 6 panels, just put it at the end of the alley, move it right into the snake, right into the chute, improve the safety of you, your family, and everybody that's working around these cattle. I sure appreciate you watching DocTalk today. It's been a fun show. It's one of those things that I spend a lot of time out in the field working on. We're going to move out into the field and show you some of these principles this summer as the show goes on and into the fall. We're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks to our sponsors. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about us, you can find us at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. Thanks for watching DocTalk, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.